Week 6. Parents, during our lesson this week, we introduced 2 chords that can be added to the melodies already learned. They are the tonic chord and the dominant chord, and you're going to hear these terms used in the next 3 years. I also will call the tonic chord the 1 chord, and I'll call the dominant chord the 5/7 chord. These terms can be used interchangeably. These 2 chords are the most used chords in the entire repertoire of music. To warm up, the students sing and play do, so, do, 1 chord. So, fa, so, 5/7 chord. Then it is up to the student's ear to add the chords to a familiar melody that they're already comfortable playing with, and I'll show you in a moment how we do that. They can also just play the chords and sing the melody. It's similar to the way we play Deb Kahora and Star Shining. Just a word about playing the piano every day. It is so important that they do this. It helps them increase the ability to press the keys down in a more coordinated way, and it gets them into the habit of playing every day. So at this point, 10 minutes to about 15 minutes a day will probably cover the daily tasks. And if you notice this week, there aren't many. This would include a warm-up in the key they're about to play, perhaps a chord warm-up in the left hand. Then they could play through the songs in their song basket in the key that they chose. Then they could add chords to the pieces. And then, of course, they can work on a new piece, although we don't have a new one this week. And then they can finish off by doing any listening exercises and finish any written assignments. If it takes longer, that's okay. And then you may want to break it up into 2 different times. Or maybe you want to do a task and then they go do homework and then come back and do another one. Don't wait for your son or daughter to suggest the time to go to the piano. They're not at that point yet. It is really your responsibility as a parent to provide an inviting learning space and enough time for them to complete the tasks daily without being tired. So doing it at the end of homework is not the best time. Now, if you find a time every single day that they are expected to go to the piano and you did this 30 days in a row, the experts say that it becomes a habit. What do you think? I want you to try it out so you can find out whether it works for your child. All right, so before we get to the piano, I'm going to show you how, again, to set up your piano. Make sure your piano is in an inviting area and it's close to where other people are so they don't feel lonely when they're playing. Secondly, they should have a CD player or a computer nearby so that they can do their listening, and they can also do, when they have a by-ear piece, they can listen to the patterns and they don't have to run across the room to turn it on and off. They have their book nearby, and if they have any written assignments, they've completed them. They have this week's lesson. Make sure you take last week's lesson, remove it, and dispose of it. Use it if you want for paper, but get rid of it so they know they're on this week. And really make a point of having them check off the task as they do. They don't have to do them in order, but they should get to a point of wanting to complete it and maybe have a special incentive for that. Also, you want to make sure that in their card file they've got their yellow cards in here, and they have the form cards. This is all they have so far in here. But they're not bringing back these each week. It just gets too cumbersome to find things. But they have these cards, and you can lay them out onto your piano, and these become cues so that they know that those are the pieces that they're working on. Plus, they have their D and C so they can work on figuring out what key they're in. For some children, that's really helpful. Otherwise, you might find them playing the same piece every single day and not doing their entire repertoire. First, I'm going to do a warm-up in D position. So I take my right hand, I put myself in D position. Remember, D is found between the 2 black keys, and here's D. They're going to need this sound. Then they do it with the left hand. Okay, and then they might choose listen for bells, and first they'll play it. notice that on the lesson, it doesn't say to turn on the listening CD for these. By now, they're familiar. They don't really need to leave the patterns at this point. However, what they are going to start doing this week is adding chords. So here are the chords. Do, so, do, one chord. So, fa, 5, 7 chord. Do, so, do, one chord. Listen for bells in the steeple to ring. Ding, 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 ding. We did that in class today, and so the hope is that they'll be able to try this out at home. They can do it in C position too. They do a warm-up. Okay, now they look and they see that it says to add chords to the songs that they already play well. It's really hard to add chords to songs that they can't play well. If they're still struggling to play them, they're not going to add chords. Now at this point they have Who's That? So here they are in D position. Place the chords where I place them because the rule is that they're putting them where they like the sound of it. So they may add all 1 chords. They may put in 5, 7 chords in funny places. They might get the sound. And that's totally normal. Your job as the parent is not to tell them what is right, but just to encourage them to, hey, do you think you can add something in the left hand? You could add those chords that Ellen was talking about. And either they're going to do it or they're going to say, no, I can't do it. That's fine. Let them go. Finally, they've played through their pieces. They walk away. And at that point, you could turn on the CD and listen to Oh-Ho, which is on listening disc 1, track 3. And they're listening and drumming along. It's a very soft and relaxing piece, so the drumming along won't be that energetic. There's no writing assignments for today, but here's a chance for them to catch up. All right, have fun, and we'll see you next time.